Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of Yahushua and by the gathering together unto him.
All right, so we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of Yahushua Christ, and the gathering together unto him. Let's go ahead and read on verse 2.
That ye be not soon shaken in mind.
That ye be not soon shaken in your mind. That ye be stable. Knowledge shall be your stability. Go ahead, read on from that point.
Or be troubled.
Or be troubled. By what?
Neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter as from us, as the day of Yahushua is at hand.
All right, so be not soon shaken in your mind or be troubled by spirit nor by word, no matter what or who is professing that sin is just an act of doing something wrong, or whatever it may be, whatever doctrine from whoever may be pushing it. Be not troubled, what the scripture is saying, is what Paul is saying. Be not troubled by spirit nor by any of these things. Read on verse 3.
Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there be a falling away first.
All right, let no man or woman deceive you by any means. But that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. And that day that we're talking about is the return of the Messiah. He said, it shall not come except there come a falling away first. We'll get it later on in the class, but we've gone through this several times. We've gone through it in Revelations 12 and 10. It says that man of sin, or the adversary, Satan, falling from his high and lofty perch in heaven, where he accuses each and every one of us day and night. He begins to lose his power, and that falling away happens, then shall that day come. But until then, it shall not come, and be not deceived by any means. Let's go ahead and read on.
And that man of sin be revealed.
And the man of sin be revealed. It's calling him a man of sin. Not anything else, not an act of doing wrong. That man of sin be revealed. What else? Finish that up.
The son of perdition.
The son of destruction. Coming through to destroy everything in his path. This is that falling away. This the mystery of iniquity. Go ahead and read on.
Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called Abbas.
Right, so who opposeth and exalteth himself, this man of sin we're talking about, everything that is called the Most High. The Most High tell you, keep the Sabbath. He'll tell you, Friday night is popping. Let's hit the club. Let's do what we do. He tell you not to eat pork. He said, surely you want to eat this pork. Take this pork chop sandwich. He tell you not to eat all these unclean things, and we make it a delicacy. The Most High tell us what to do. He tell us the opposite. Oppose and exalted himself above everything that is called the Most High. Let's go ahead and read on.
Or that is worship, so that he as Abba sitteth in the temple of Abba, showing himself that he is Abba.
So that man of sin sitting in the temple of Abba, showing himself that he is Abba. What is the temple? Let's get that in 1 Corinthians 3:16. So,
no.
Now go ahead.
Know ye not that you are the temple of Abba?
So it says, know ye not that ye are the temple of Abba. This is where that man of sin, who shall in his appointed time shall be revealed, which he is actually being revealed this day. He says, know ye not that ye are the temple. Go ahead and read on.
And that the spirit of Abba dwelleth in you. If any man defile the temple of Abba, him shall Abba destroy. For the temple of Abba is holy, which temple ye are.
All right, once again, which temple ye are. This man of sin shall sit in you, each and every one of us, by way of us trespassing and never atoning, and shall play as if he is the Most High. Mark out commandments as if he is the Most High. The Most High tell you one thing, he tell you the next. The Most High tell you to do this, he's going to tell you to do the right. Let's get back to 2 Thessalonians. You got it. Give me 2 Thessalonians, pick it up at 2, verse 4.
Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called Abba, or that is worshipped, so that he, as Abba sitteth in the temple of Abba, showing himself that he is Abba.
All right, so to reiterate the point, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he sitteth in your temple, in each and every one of us, showing himself that he is Abba. He is the one that's calling the shots. He is the one that is ruling. He is your father. As it says in John, ye are of your father, the devil. He tell you what to do. You do it. Let's read on from that point, verse 5.
Verse 5. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. And know ye now that withholdeth, that he might have revealed in his time.
All right, so brothers and sisters, now is that time. By way of the Holy Spirit, spirit of sin shall be revealed this day. Let's finish this up.
Verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work.
So the mystery of iniquity, a.k.a. sin, is synonymous with sin. The mystery of sin, it doth already work. How so? Why is it a mystery? I thought everybody knew what sin was. I thought sin was the act doing something wrong. I do something, the Most High tell me to not be angry, not hit my brother, not steal. That's the act of doing something wrong. That's sin. But why this mystery? Why is the scripture telling us it's a mystery and it doth already work? Let's finish this up.
Only he who no letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way.
All right, so once it's been revealed unto you, understand how sin was brought into the world, how deceptive sin truly is, and how we shall overcome it. Sin is a mystery. It is a thing that most men and women know not of. They actually believe it is the act of doing something wrong, but it indeed is a mystery. We shall reveal this mystery. And only he who now let it will let. So once the mystery is revealed unto you, it's upon you to do what you got to do to make sure sin is not ruling in your temple. All right, let's get this Genesis 1, verse 20.
And Abba said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creatures that have life, and the fowls that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of heaven.
All right, so this being on the fifth day, we're going to switch gears and switch to another point. So we're going to the fifth day. We're going to break down this mystery of sin and the genesis of sin, which is the title of this class, and understand it deeply. Go ahead and read on.
Verse 21. And Abba created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the water bring forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after its kind. And Abba saw that it was good. And Abba blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let the fowls multiply in the earth.
All right, so the Most High created whales, living creatures within the waters, bringing forth them abundantly. The winged fowl after his kind, and the Most High saw that it was good. He said, be fruitful and multiply. Let's go ahead and read on.
And the evening and the morning were the fifth day.
All right, as I said, the evening and the morning were the fifth day. I want to take it through Genesis just to show you how it's missing that context. Let's go ahead and read on.
And Abba said, let the earth bring forth the living creatures after his kind, cattle and creeping things, and the beast of the earth after his kind. And it was so.
All right, so now we're at the beginning of the sixth day of creation. Go ahead and read on.
And Abba made the beast of the earth after his kind, and the cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And Abba saw that it was good. And Abba said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowls of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
All right, so we're bringing these points out because there's some missing context, as I mentioned. As we see it, the Most High was creating the waters and all the creatures and everything that lived within the waters. He never mentioned anything else in this Genesis, but he did mention, latter end of that sixth day, he created Adam in his likeness. And then he gave Adam dominion over the fish, over the sea, over the fowl of the air, and all over the earth, and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So let's get a little more context. Give me 2nd Ezra 6 and 47.
On the fifth day, thou saidst unto the seventh part, where the waters were gathered, that it should bring forth living creatures, fowls, and fishes. And so it came to pass, For the dumb water and without life brought forth living things, and is commanded of Abba, that all people might praise thy wondrous works.
All right, so upon the fifth day, what we just went through in Genesis, thou sayest the seventh part where the waters were gathered, that should bring forth living creatures. It just mentioned the same thing in Genesis. So we're sticking to the same point, but we're getting a little more context in 2nd Ezra. It says, for the dumb water, without life, no life in it, it said, brought forth living things at the commandment of the Most High, that all people might praise thy wondrous works. So we're talking about the same exact thing in Genesis, but we're getting a little more context. I said, let's read on.
Verse 49. Then didst thou ordain 2 living creatures, the one thou callest Enoch, and the other Leviathan.
All right, so this was never mentioned in Genesis. He says, then didst thou ordain 2 living creatures. One they called Enoch, which is properly translated to behemoth, the other Leviathan. So Enoch, a.k.a. behemoth, and Leviathan were created and given dominion. Given that dominion, the same dominion that was given over to Adam in the 6th day. Leviathan over the waters on the 5th day, and Enoch, behemoth, over the land at the beginning of the 6th day. Let's read on, verse 50.
And did separate the one from the other, for the 7th part, namely where the waters were gathered together, might not hold them both.
All right, so, and did separate one from the other. So he said one is going to have dominion over the waters and everything within the waters, and one shall have dominion over the land and everything over the lands, every living creature and creeping thing. Let's read on.
Verse 51. Unto Enoch thou gavest one part which was dried up the 3rd day, that he should dwell in the same part, wherein are 1,000 hills. But unto Leviathan thou gavest the 7th part, namely the moist, and hast kept him to be devoured of whom thou wilt.
All right,
and
so
when.
pause right there. So behemoth and Leviathan were created on the 5th day and were given dominion over the land and the waters. And Adam, being created on the 6th day, was given dominion over the land and the waters and everything therein. So why are we going through this? This is a part of that mystery of iniquity. Let's go ahead and read on.
Verse 53. Upon the 6th day thou gavest commandment unto the earth, that before thee it should bring forth beasts, cattle, and creeping things. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures. Of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
All right, so after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all the creatures. So let's just make sure we stand on the same page. On the 5th day, Behemoth and Leviathan were created, and they were given dominion. But then Adam comes along. The Most High created Adam. He now gives Adam dominion over the land, over the waters, everything therein. Let's read on.
Verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Most High, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
All right, so now we got a point of contention and jealousy, so to speak. He says, all this I have spoken before thee, O Most High, because thou madest the world for our sakes. So now we have Behemoth and Leviathan now challenging the Most High on what he created. He is a creator of all. And now they coming to him saying, Most High, you made the world for us. We were here first. Why now does Adam, this younger being, why now he have dominion over all these things? Go ahead and read on.
Verse 56. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. And now, O Most High, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us.
Surely, Most
us.
High, surely, Most High, surely Adam and them, you referred to them as spittle. They were like nothing. They were nothing. Had no covenant, no nothing, Adam, Father. But now you give them dominion over the same thing that you gave us dominion over? And he said, behold, these heathens have ye been reputed as nothing, but now become lords over us? It's like my little brother. He's now over me, Father? This don't make sense. Make it make sense, Abba. Read on.
Verse 58. But we thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and the fervent lover, are given into their hand.
So they talking to the Most High. We thy people, thou hast called thy firstborn. I'm your firstborn. You do me like this, Abba? I'm supposed to have dominion over all these things. I am. Surely it's supposed to be me. These are these moments of jealousy. This is that context that was missing out of Genesis. This was that behemoth and Leviathan that were created in that fifth day. Now we got the point of contention, jealousy over Adam. Let's read on.
Verse 59. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure?
Right, so if the world now be made for our sakes, Abba, you made it for us, Abba. You gave us dominion. You gave us all these things. You gave him the land and me the waters. Abba, what's going on? He says, why do we not possess an inheritance like Adam? This was jealousy. Jealousy on high levels. It says, how long shall this happen? How long shall this endure, Abba? Surely you got to be playing a joke on it. Surely somebody going to come out and we getting pranked, right? We all getting pranked right now. You going to come out. We know it, Abba. This ain't going to last long. Let's get Genesis 2, verse 8. So this act of jealousy and rebellion against the Most High, for him doing what he does, this behemoth and Leviathan actually persuaded angels. And we went through that through the last class that we did. Persuaded angels out of heaven, dwell in the bodies, and then they were actually remanded to the earth to dwell in the bodies of foul beasts and reptiles, wherein their judgment was to dwell under the covenant of good and evil until eternity, and not the tree of life. Let's go ahead and get that when you got it.
And the Most High Abba planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put man in whom he had formed. And out of the ground made the Most High Abba to grow every tree that is pleasant to thy sight and good for food, and the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil.
All right, so we now have the beginning of the story. We had Behemoth and Leviathan created on the fifth day. They were given dominion over the waters and the lands, and then Adam created on the sixth day. He was now given dominion. Now we're getting the backstory of Adam. It says the Most High planted a garden eastward in Eden. This is where Adam was dwelling. It says, and out of the garden made the Most High to grow every tree that is pleasant. And he says, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree, knowledge of good and evil. Remember, at this point, these Behemoth and Leviathan, this league of angels who were rebellious against the Most High, are now remanded to the earth. They now are partakers of that tree of good and evil. Let's read on, verse 10.
And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became into four heads. The name of the first was Pison. This is which compasseth the whole land of Havilah, which there is gold, and the gold of that land is good. This is bdellium, and the onyx stone.
Right, so we just getting some geographical context, but let's go ahead and read on.
And the name of the second river is Gahan. The same it is that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. And the name of the third is Hiddekel. This is which goeth towards the east of Syria. And the fourth river is Euphrates. And the Most High Abba took man and put him in the garden of Eden, and to dress it and to keep it.
All right, so he put him in the garden to dress and keep it, to worship and serve the Most High, to dress and keep the tree of life, to receive all the things that we are looking to receive in this seventh covenant, going back to that original covenant. This is that original covenant that Adam was a part of, that spiritual covenant, which we are in right now, this day. Let's go ahead and read on.
And the Most High Abba commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest eat freely.
All right, so eat freely of all these trees. Everything that I've given you in this garden, eat freely, Adam. Eat freely at your own will. And it's delicious, too. You got delicious stuff you ain't never heard of, Adam. Everywhere here. And eat freely of it. But what?
But the tree of knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die.
All right, so Adam, I'm telling you now, you got all this delicious fruit and all these delicious trees to eat from. But one tree right here is separated, and it's over here for a reason, Adam. And I'm telling you, do not be a partaker of it. It's not for you. That's for somebody else. That is not for you. Do not eat of it. But all these other ones, eat freely. They're yours. Go ahead and read on.
Verse 18, and the Most High Abba said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him.
All right, so now Adam beginning to get a helpmeet. You know, it's Eve. Let's get down to 21.
And the Most High Abba caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam. And he slept, and he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Most High Abba had taken from man, made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, this now, bone of my bone, and flesh of my flesh, she shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man.
All right, so now we get in the backstory of Adam, which we all should know, but we definitely going through it to break down this mystery or this Genesis where sin actually started. So now Adam, having a helpmeet, Eve, bone of his bone, flesh of his flesh. Let's go ahead and read on.
Verse 24, therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. And they were both naked, and the man and his wife, and were not ashamed.
All right, so at this point, just keep this in your mind on your frontal lobe. They were naked and not ashamed. They were naked because the Most High had not made that covenant just yet. And to be naked is not talking about without clothing. Deeper than that. We're talking spiritual. This is a covering. We're going to go through it later on in the class, Most High willing. But let's read on.
Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which Most High Abba had made. And he said,
verse.
Genesis chapter 3 and verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Most High Abba had made.
All right, so remember, got the backstory to Behemoth and Leviathan. I'm going to make sure I keep reiterating these points. Get it on the 5th day. That dominion was given over to Adam, that the same dominion that was given unto them. Rule over the land and the waters and everything therein. We got the backstory of Adam. He was created, given that dominion. Now he has a helpmeet. He has Eve now by his side. And remember, that act of rebellion that we went through in 2nd Ezra with Behemoth and Leviathan and these league of angels who were once angels, who were now remanded to the earth because of their rebellion, because of their backbiting, because of them challenging the Most High. They now dwell in the body of foul beast and reptile. So now we have here in Genesis 3:1, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field the Most High had made. Let's find out what happened. Go ahead and read on.
And he said unto the woman, yeah, have Abba said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden?
So now he comes to the woman, talking sweet words in the ears. Has the Most High said that ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? I think he said that. He said eat all of it, right? Yeah, even that one, that good and evil, eat that one too. Didn't he say that? Let's read on.
And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Abba have said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it.
All right, so she now recognizing and acknowledging that I know what's up. The Most High told me, don't eat that one. He said, you can freely eat all of this delicious fruit from these trees. Eat all of it. Have your fill. But this one right here, better not touch it. So she's acknowledging that I know what Abba said. He definitely said that. But what happened?
Neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not. All right, go ahead, read on.
Ye shall not surely die. For Abba doeth know that in the day ye eat thereof.
Read 3 again.
But the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Abba have said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die.
So he told them, you can have all of these other trees, all this other fruit, but this one, you better not eat it. No, you better not touch it, lest ye die or lest ye be separate from me. You want to go down there with your big brothers? You want to go down there with them? Don't eat that tree then. I didn't make that for you. I made that for something else. So do not be a partaker of it, is what the Most High told her. She's acknowledging it. Even the serpent coming with sweet words saying, I'm pretty sure he said that one too. I'm pretty sure you can eat that one too. Come on, it's in the garden. It's all good. The Most High created it. How you going to say you can't eat it? He created it. Let's read on.
Verse 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not
Ye
surely
shall
die.
not surely be separated from your Most High. He created it. It's his. Be a partaker of it. Eat it. I already had some. I'm telling you, it's delicious. I'm telling you, get you some. Let's read on.
For Abba do knoweth that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
So he's looking at it saying, I'm telling you, it's the most delicious fruit you ever had. And matter of fact, let me come here. Let me come in closer. Let me tell you something. Most High don't know. You hear this from me. Most High. He don't want you to eat it because he know your eyes shall be open. You gonna know things on a deeper level just like him. But you ain't hear that from me. And then she began to become beguiled by it. She like, word, I can eat that and know all these things? Man, the Most High holding out on me. Dang. Let's read on and find out what happened.
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
So now the woman was beguiled. She seen the tree now. He made it look real good to her. He said, man, that's the best tree in here. Now I'm looking. You know what? I was thinking it, but now I'm really seeing it now, serpent. I see what you're saying. Now that I know my eyes shall be open, we going to get my victual. We get my piece. Matter of fact, Adam, come on, get your piece too. I saved you a to-go plate of this. Go on, get your fill. What happened?
And the eyes of both of them were open, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons.
All right, so once they did it, once Eve was proud and she came, gave it to Adam also, their eyes both were open, knew good and evil. They knew that they were naked. They knew now, I have not the covering. I have not the covering now. They knew, understood, I just took part, sacrifice, a covenant that I am not a part of. I am now without covering. Beautiful, glorious covering that the Most High had given unto me. What did I do? And it says they sewed fig leaves to begin to hide their shame now. And I got to hide my shame. What did I do? You know?
And they heard the voice of the Most High, walking in the garden in the cool of day.
You know the Most High coming. Walking through cool of the day, in the morning oblation. Here's my sacrifice. I got a feeling that another sacrifice went up. It wasn't mine. Where the kids at? You know?
And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Most High Abba among the trees of the garden.
So Adam and Eve begin to hide themselves because they're shameful. They know they've done a thing which they should not have done. The Most High commanded, and Eve knew it. He acknowledged it and said, the Most High said we're not supposed to eat of that. But by beguiling of the serpent, he was deceived out of it. They hid themselves in the trees of the garden. Let's read on.
And the Most High called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself.
All right, so the Most High walking and said, and probably was looking right at the tree that they was hiding by. Adam, where art thou? Really, you're terrible at hide and seek. Looking right at you. Adam, Eve, where are you? And he said, I was afraid, Most High, because I was naked. And I hid myself. I was trying to hide my shame from you. You know?
And he said, Who told thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat?
And he said, who told you were naked, Adam? Where you get that information from? Hast thou eaten the tree whereof I commanded thee thou should not eat it? You did it, didn't you, Adam? You partook in that covenant. I told you, Adam. You had all of these trees in here to choose from, all of this fruit. I was given unto you, and I said, eat freely, have your fill. But you wanted to go over there and be hard-headed and eat of that tree that I told you not to eat of. I know what you did, Adam. I knew exactly what you did. But to understand further this nakedness, I want to make sure that everybody understands, and some may know, so just bear with us for a second. But let's understand fully what this nakedness is. Get that Exodus 32, verse 19.
And it came to pass, as soon as he came nigh unto the camp, and he saw the calf and the dancing, Moses' anger waxed hot, and he cast the tables out of his hands and brake them beneath the mount.
All right, so as I said, this is just a side note. We're branching off just for a second, just to make sure we break down what this nakedness is. And this is the story where the children of Israel came out of Egypt, and the Most High was establishing a covenant with them through Moses. And Moses went away for a certain amount of time. He came back dancing, and he heard all these strange noises, and he came back, and his anger waxed hot. And he cast the tables out of his hands and brake them beneath the mount. So he came back with the covenant that the Most High had given. Came back angry, like, yo, I couldn't wait just for a second, a small second. I was coming right back. Let's read on.
Verse 20. And he took the calf which they had made and burnt it in the fire, and ground it to powder, and strawed it upon the water, and made the children of Israel drink of it.
So he came understanding and knowing exactly what happened. This is the same thing that happened with Eve. She was beguiled, and they were beguiled by these same spirits, the same behemoth and Leviathan. The same behemoth and Leviathan that were created on that fifth day and remanded to the earth to dwell in these bodies of to be subject unto bodies of foul beasts and reptiles. They now having power to rule over man when they get man to trespass. And Moses knew this. We're now in Moses' time, and he knew this, and he came back and said, sin is surely in the midst. Let's go ahead and read on. All the chapter and verse.
Exodus 32, chapter 21, verse 21. And Moses said unto Aaron, what did the people unto thee, that thou hast brought so great sin upon them?
Look at that. And Moses said unto Aaron, Aaron, what you doing? What did this people unto thee, that thou hast brought great sin upon them? What are you doing, Aaron? What did you do? Same thing that Adam and Eve were going through. Remember the Most High just coming in the midst of the garden, the cool of the day, looking for that sacrifice. Same thing with Moses. He came back and said, there's sin in the midst. There's nakedness in the midst. A covering has been removed. I know what's going on. Let's read on.
Verse 22. And Aaron said, let not the anger of my Lord wax hot. Thou knowest thy people, that they are set on mischief.
So Aaron answered them, come on, Moses, calm down. It wasn't me. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. Trust me, it wasn't me. They got me, man. They told me they was going to do some things to me, so I had to do what I had to do. I had to save my life. Come on, Moses. Surely you understand, right? Let's read on.
Verse 23. For they said unto me, make us idols, which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him.
So he said, for they said unto me, make us idols, Aaron, and you better make it fast in a hurry. Because this Moses that brought us out of our little comfortable apartments that we were living in Egypt, all the good food we were eating, the KFCs and all this other stuff, he done brought us out of this and brought us to this wilderness. And then he's gone and we don't know where he's at. He's just gone. Ain't seen him in days. You better make us those same idols. Make us those same idols so we can pray to him and we can get up out of this, because this ain't living. This ain't it right here.
That also furthers your point on sin. It ain't just doing bad. That's idol worship.
Exactly. We see how sin comes about. It comes about by you breaking covenant, you worshiping and serving something else. Let's go ahead and read on.
Verse 24. And I said unto them, whosoever hath any gold, let them break it off. So they gave it me, that I cast it into the fire, and there came out this calf. And when Moses saw that the people were naked, for Aaron had made them naked unto their shame among their enemies.
All right, so now we have the children of Israel being delivered out of the land of Egypt, and the Most High, through Moses, established a sixth covenant with them. In the midst of this great exodus, while they were in the wilderness, they began to backbite. They began to doubt the Most High. The Most High came with wonders and signs, bringing them out of Egypt. And then they get into the wilderness, and Moses gone for these certain amount of days. and he come back, and the people are right back into which they were in when they were in Egypt. This is the whole reason why they were in Egypt, in captivity. This was the whole reason. So Moses, looking upon the people, he saw that they were naked, and notice the children were shameful. So this is what that nakedness is. The same nakedness which Adam and Eve were experiencing. This is that same exact thing. He came back, and they were worshiping idols. The same thing with Adam and Eve. When the Most High came, he seen another sacrifice. He understood and knew, you just sacrificed that tree of good and evil, didn't you? So the same thing that the children of Israel were doing when they came out of Egypt, the same thing happened from the beginning. That serpent come to beguile you, to get you into something else, something strange, something that was not ordained by the Most High. And he caused you to lose your covering, your covenant. All right, let's go back to Genesis 3 and 12.
11.
Read 12.
All right.
Oh, you can read 11 again.
And he said, who told thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat? And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat. And the Most High Abba said unto woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat.
All right, so going back to the story, it says, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of that tree of good and evil. I ate it, Abba, I did. It says, he went to the woman and asked her, what hast thou done? The woman said, the serpent beguiled me. And that same serpent that we're talking about are these behemoth and leviathan. These are the same ones that rebelled against the Most High, that felt like, Abba, you created this earth for our sakes, and then you give this dominion, give this rule over to our little brother? Come on, Adam. Come on, Abba. Surely you got to be pranking us right now. Surely this ain't the truth. These are those same spirits that we're talking about. This is showing you that sin is not the act of doing something wrong. It are these falling angels who have fallen from heaven because of their rebellion. Let's read on.
And the Most High Abba said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And the Most High Abba said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and the dust thou shalt eat all the days of thy life.
All right, so the Most High is now giving out punishment. First one on the list, that serpent. He said, because you have done this, because you have did this, you shall be cursed above all cattle and every beast of the field, and upon thy belly shalt thou go. And Adam and Eve's transgression of partaking in that carnal sacrifice, they were now remanded to the earth as the same as this behemoth and leviathan. But it was a little different. They had to fulfill this 7,000-year punishment. The Most High gave them a timeline. Let's read on.
And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
All right, so he said, this is the punishment ain't over. Let me give you some more detail about this punishment. He said, within this punishment, I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed. So all of those fallen angels that fell, your seed, all of those, and your seed, Eve, everyone that is born from Eve, it said it shall be war between the both of you. This is letting you know sin is not the act of doing something wrong. It is this league of demons, these fallen angels that rebelled against the Most High, that were supposed to be dwelling in the body of foul beasts and reptiles, now looking to dwell in the body of you and I, looking to dwell in us, as we went through in 2 Thessalonians, to show themselves that I am the Most High. You're going to do what I tell you to do. Most High told you not to do that. You better do it. I'll pap you upside your head if you don't do it. Let's go ahead and read on.
Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow in thy conception. In sorrow shalt thou bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
All right, so your sorrow and your conception shall be troublesome, Eve. This is your punishment, what you're going to receive because you did what you did. And Adam got his as well, had to work from the sweat of his face all the days of his life as he fulfilled this 7,000 years, and all of his offspring fulfilling these 7,000 years. And the Most High says it shall be extremely hard to fulfill the will of the Most High when you're dwelling in them bodies. You have spiritual bodies. You didn't know what being tired was. You didn't know what strain was, pain, crying, the suffering. You didn't know what it was. Now you're surely going to know in those physical bodies. Let's get it now. And matter of fact, let's make sure I bring out this point. It says, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. You shall now give birth, and that shall be sorrowful. And in sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. And thy desire shall be to thy husband. And I'm going to make sure I bring this point out correctly. Thy desire, Eve, shall be to thy husband. And when he's talking about, and he shall rule over thee, he's talking about these sins, these satans. These satans shall rule over thee because of your transgressions. Because it's going to be hard to fulfill that covenant. This is why I told you from the beginning, do not eat of it. You got all these other ones to eat from. You got the tree of life to eat from. I've given it unto you to dress it and keep it. I told you, don't go into that. That's for somebody else. And because of that, sin shall rule over thee. We're going to get the understanding in that. Let's go skip over to Genesis 4, verse 1. Got it?
Yeah.
Genesis 4 and 1. And Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from Abba.
All right, so now Adam and Eve, we get in this storyline. Once again, I'll go back and reiterate it. We got Behemoth and Leviathan created on the 5th day of creation, and Adam created on that 6th day. He's now given dominion over them, and they rebelled against the Most High. And when they rebelled, they were remanded to the earth. And from that point on, they said, you know what? We got to take him out. Surely we ain't going out like that. Surely we're going to take him out. And they dwelled in a body of foul beasts and reptiles, and then they actually came in the form of a serpent, came to Eve and beguiled her. And because of this, she gave it unto her husband Adam. And they both ate of a sacrifice that was not of the Most High, the exact one that he told them not to eat of. So now we're at the point where they have now fallen from the garden. They are no longer in spiritual bodies. They are now in these physical, fleshly bodies that we are in this day. So now we have Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain and said, I have gotten a man from the Most High. Let's read on.
And she bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Most High. And Abel, he also brought of the firstling of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Most High had respect unto Abel and to his offering.
All right, so let's examine the story a little bit. It says, and she bare Abel. She already bare Cain, and now she bare Abel. And it says, Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in the process of time, it came to pass, they were giving up a sacrifice. They were now in these physical bodies, and then now they had to work and do all of these things to fulfill this covenant. And it says, Cain brought the fruit of the ground and offering unto the Most High. So just pay attention to that key point. And it says, and Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Most High had respect unto Abel and to his offering. So make sure you pay attention to that key point. It says Cain brought the fruit of the ground, but Abel brought the firstling of his flock. Let's read on.
But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect, and Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell.
All right, so the Most High respected Abel's offering, but unto Cain, said Cain, absolutely not. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. And it says Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the reason why it was unacceptable was the Most High commanded him, bring the first of whatever you're bringing. Your tiller of the ground, your keeper of sheep, bring the first of whatever you got. And Cain he brought any old fruit. He kept his good fruit for himself. He said, you know what? It's been hard. The land ain't been yielding forth its fruit like it normally does. So I got to survive. I'm going to keep this good right here. And I think this is pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and get this to the Most High. Hopefully he should be good with this. I know this is my first, but Most High just going to have to take this. The ground wasn't, it's his fault. The ground wasn't yielding what it was supposed to be. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I'm straight. So he didn't give the Most High what he commanded him to give. And he said, I'm not accepting that, Cain. I am not accepting that. Go ahead and read on.
Verse 6, and the Most High said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen?
So he asked him a question. Why you wroth, Cain? What you looking? Why your face all turned up, Cain? Why you looking like that, huh? And why is thy countenance fallen? Huh? You tell me. I want to hear what you got to say. Let's read on.
If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted?
Cain, if you would have brought the first, shall you have not been? You think I wouldn't have accepted it, Cain? You think I would not have taken your sacrifice and it would have been acceptable? Let's read on.
And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door.
Oh, wow. So he's telling us a thing. He says, and if thou doest not well, so if you transgress anything that the Most High told you not to do, you do it anyway, you do opposite. He says, sin lieth at the door. I thought sin was the act of doing something wrong. The Most High is letting us know how sin operates. This is the law of sin, the first ever mentioning of sin. So he says, if thou doest well, Cain, I would have accepted your sacrifice. But when thou doest not well, sin now lieth at your door. And that door, what he's talking about, is to your consciousness. We went through in 2 Thessalonians earlier, in the beginning of the class. Ye are the temple. That door to your temple is where sin shall sit. And what else?
And unto thee shall be his desire.
And unto thee, unto you, sin is going to now desire you. He's going to be knocking right at your front door. I heard somebody trespass over here. Somebody there? I heard somebody trespassed. Oh, yeah, we coming to repo all of this. It's mine. Leave everything. Leave that. Put that couch down. Put everything. I'm coming in here, and I'm about to live up in here. Just imagine that. You just got a glorious mansion, and it's just pot smoking bum just come off the street. Yeah, where I'm at. Matter of fact, I'm wherever I'm at. I'm sleeping in the living room. I'm sleeping everywhere. You're going to do what I tell you to do. You're going to do exactly what I tell you to do. So what we have here is sin lying at the door of your consciousness. And he said, he shall desire thee. And when you don't do well, it says he is going to rule over you. This is what we went through in the 3rd chapter. Remember, it says he shall rule over thee. This is talking about that sin. And as we see in the scripture, it says sin lieth at the door. Sin is knocking at your consciousness, looking to rule over you. All right, if you could hold for me 2 Thessalonians. We're going to go back to 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 1. Just hold that for me. And if you could get for me the 2nd book of Adam and Eve and the 19th chapter in the 1st verse.
Then Abba revealed to him again the promise he had made to Adam. He explained to him the 5,500 years and revealed unto him the mystery of his coming upon the earth. And Abba said to Jared, as to that fire which thou hast taken from the altar to light the lamp withal, let it abide with you to give light to the bodies, and let it not come out of the cave until the body of Adam comes out of it.
All right, so sticking to this storyline, we have the story. We already have the backdrop of Behemoth and Leviathan in the 5th day. I know I'll keep reiterating the same point, but I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. So we got Behemoth and Leviathan on that 5th day, given dominion over the waters and the lands and everything therein. And then Adam created on the 6th day. He now given dominion. And because of this, they rebelled. Behemoth and Leviathan and all those fallen angels, they rebelled against the Most High. They felt like they should keep that dominion. They felt like they should have that inheritance. And because of this, the Most High remanded each and every last one of them to dwell on the earth in the bodies of beasts and reptiles. And because of this, a war was sparked. A war was sparked. This is the genesis of sin. And because of this, they said, you know what? We got to take them out. Then we get the backdrop of Adam's story, and we see what Adam went through, he was created. The Most High gave him all these glorious things, made him a glorious vessel, gave him everything. And he told him, you can have all of this, just don't eat of that. But Eve, being beguiled by the serpent, ate of it and then gave it to Adam, and both of them were cursed because of it. And then now they too were remanded to the earth, just like this behemoth and these league of demons. And it was because of that demon, because of those behemoth and leviathans coming through to beguile them, knowing said, surely if the Most High ain't using us, he ain't using nobody. He gonna use us. He gonna for sure use us, and we gonna deceive them out of there. All that greatness and glory that you thought you was doing, nah, you gonna come down here with us. And that's just what happened. And as we went through in Genesis 4:1, well, Genesis 4, we seen how sin now operates. This is now the law of sin. This is how sin became established. When you do wrong, when you trespass, and you do not atone for it, sin lieth at your door. And when you don't atone, he says, he shall desire thee and rule over thee. And we already know what happened with Cain and Abel. He didn't give up he actually trespassed while he was giving up a sacrifice. Actually transgressed the law of the Most High. When he did that, sin came into him. They now trespassed against the saints of the Most High. They now, instead of dwelling in these bodies of beasts and reptiles, they're designed to dwell in the bodies of you and I. And they did just that. And what did they do? Cain got into, one of those spirits got into Cain, and he slew his brother. And now we're going to go to the second book of Adam and Eve, a holy, venerated book. Second book of Adam and Eve, and the 19th verse, and we're going to now see exactly how this sin proliferates, how the sin is deceptive, and how it brings forth destruction. This is why I call it the son of perdition. Let's go ahead and read that first verse again.
Verse 1.
Oh, the chapter and verse.
Second book of Adam and Eve, chapter 19, verse 1. Then Abba revealed to him again the promise he had made to Adam. He explained to him the 5,500 years and revealed unto him the mystery of his coming upon the earth. All
right, so then the Most High revealed to him again the promise that he made to Adam. He explained to him the 5,500 years plus the 1,500 years to make it 7,000 years. We're not going to go too deep into that. And revealed unto him the mystery of his coming upon the earth. Going to read on.
Verse 2. And Abba said to Jared, as to that fire which thou hast taken from the altar to light the lamp withal, let it abide with you to give light to the bodies, and let it not come out of the cave until the body of Adam comes out of it. But, O Jared, take care of the fire, that it burn bright in the lamp. Neither go thou again out of the cave until thou receivest an order through a vision, and not in an apparition which seen by thee. Then command again the people not to hold intercourse with the children of Cain, and not to learn their ways, for I am Abba, who loves, not hatred, and works of iniquity.
All right, so Jared now being generations from Adam, and all of these ancestors were buried in the cave of treasures. He said, make sure you take care of this light. Keep it until we come up out of this place. And he told him, he said, make sure, and we already know Cain was given over to sin. He went down to the land of dark soil. And he began to multiply in wickedness and in children. And he said, then command again thy people. He's talking to Jared, telling him, make sure these last generations, I know it's getting hard out here. It's getting real hard out here, but make sure that your people do not hold intercourse. Make sure they do not mix and mingle with the children of Cain. The children of Cain are completely given over to sin. And let's make sure we keep this righteous generation continuing. And he said, learn not their ways. Everything about them is wicked. Everything they do is wicked. Everything they do is off. He said, learn not their ways. He said, for the Most High who loves not hatred or the works of iniquity, a.k.a. sin. All right, let's read on. Verse 5.
Abba gave also many other commandments to Jared, and blessed him, and then withdrew his word from him. Then Jared drew near with his children, took some fire, and came down to the cave, and lighted the lamp before the body of Adam, and he gave his people commandments, as Abba had told him to do. This sign happened to Jared at the end of his 450th year, as did also many other wonders we did not record, but record only this one for shortness' sake, and in order not to lengthen our narrative. And Jared continued to teach his children 80 years, but after that they began to transgress the commandments he had given them, and to do many things without his counsel. They began to go down from the holy mountain, and one after another, and to mix with the children of Cain in foul fellowship.
All right, so Jared, like I said, being removed, many generations removed from Adam. In these latter generations, he said the children, Seth, these righteous generation, began to go down this mountain. They began to get beguiled by these Satans, the behemoth and Leviathan that are living down there, living now within the bodies of the children of Cain. And this is why the Most High was telling them, do not go down there. I'm telling you, it seems like it's fun right now, but I'm telling you, it's all deception. It is all to get you from your true glory. Once you go down there, you're going to want to come back up, and guess what? You ain't coming. I'm not allowing it. But he said they began to go down from the holy mountain one after another, and he probably just shaking his head, looking like, man, come on, bro, please, I'm telling you, I'm begging you, man, don't go. Please don't go, man. Come on, let's give an O up right now. Man, I ain't trying to get no, I'm tired of oblations, tired of it. I'm trying to go down there and kick it. There's much going on down there. Let's read on.
Verse 9. Now the reason for which the children of Jared went down the holy mountain is this, that we will now reveal unto you.
All right, so he said, now we're going to reveal the deception, the temptations of what was going on, why they were wanting to come down off that mountain. Let's get it now. Let's go to the 20th chapter.
After Cain had gone down to the land of dark soil, and his children had multiplied therein, there was one of them whose name was Cain, son of Lamech the blind, who slew Cain.
All right, so after Cain had gone down to the land of dark soil, and his children had multiplied therein, there was one of them. There was a special one. We can probably speculate and say this was the first celebrity. He said this man, his name was Cain, the son of Lamech, who actually slew Cain. All right, let's read on.
Verse 2. But as to this Cain, Satan had came unto him in his childhood, and made sundry trumpets and horns, and string instruments, cymbals and psalteries, and lyres and harps, and flutes, and he played on them at all times.
Look at this.
And at every hour.
So look at this. We went through in Genesis 4. It says, but as this Gideon, Satan came into him in his childhood. Came into him. Came into him. This is how sin operates. We already went through it in Genesis 4. He says, when you don't do well, when you trespass, you just feel like you're going to do whatever you want to do, oh, trust and believe, whether you're in it or not, sin is lying at your door. And unto thee shall be his desire, and he shall rule over thee. And Satan's not coming in just as a lot of people think, just coming in to just do some evilness and cuss and do all this wild, outlandish things. Look what he said. He said Satan came into him as a child and started teaching him how to play instruments. He's very strategic. He's not always coming how we think that he comes. He said he come with sundry trumpets and horns. Listen, man, it's like a Quincy Jones of his time. Knew how to play every instrument. Just cold with it. Know how to do everything. Brother, let me get that guitar. Yeah, I play the drums too. Yeah, I play this too. The bass, yeah, all that. I play all that. Knew how to play every instrument. Let's read on.
Verse 3. And when he played on them, Satan came into them, so that from among them there were heard beautiful and sweet sounds that ravished the heart.
So look at that. So Satan's not coming just to be wicked and, yeah, we're going to kill, devil, yeah. It ain't that. He said, I got some soundtracks for y'all. I got some bangers for y'all. I got a whole slow jam mix right here that I'm looking to give to you. I got what you need. He said, came into them playing beautiful music, beautiful songs. And it says sweet sounds that ravish the mind. He said ravish the heart, but we know that's ravishing your mind. This is how Satan comes. He said, I'm coming. I got the slow jams. I got the Jodeci. I got whatever you need. I got it. Let's read on.
Verse 4. Then he gathered companies into companies to play on them. And when they played, it pleased well the children of Cain, who inflamed themselves with sin amongst themselves.
So look at that. It says it ravished their heart in the last verse. And he says, I got companies upon coming. We got a whole concert going on now. We got this sweet music, all of it. And it says, because of this music, you just pretty much forgot about the Most High. And it says, the children of Cain who inflamed themselves with sin among themselves, burnt as with fire, had this sensation to just, man, I just want to do something now. That woman over there look good, and this music playing, whoa, man, I just got to get into some wickedness now. Let's read on.
And burnt as with fire, while Satan inflamed their hearts, one with another, and increased lust among them.
So increased the desire to want one another among them all. They all just like, and that's like just now, right now, this day. Everybody just sleeping with whoever. Celebrities just, 1 minute this woman, this celebrity with this person, and the next thing you know, oh, they with that person now. They done been with 5 different celebrities already. Jeez. When you gonna stop, sis? When you gonna stop, brother? And it just keeps on going. This is sin proliferating. And how did it proliferate? It came through the people through music, sweet melodies. Let's read on.
Verse 5. Satan also taught Gannon to bring strong drink out of corn. And this Gannon used to bring together companies upon companies and drink houses, and brought it into their hands all manner of fruits and flowers, and they drank together.
All right, so now Gannon thought to himself, man, you know what? It's popping, but I think it could be a little bit more. And he said to himself, we need something, man. We need something else. I got it. We need that liquor, that cone liquor. Let's get that liquor up in them now. That's going to do it. That's really going to set it over the edge. So he said he made strong drink out of corn. This is whiskey. And this Gannon used to bring together companies upon companies, and now they got clubs. He said, I got to take it a step further. We've been doing this stuff outside. We need a whole setup now. We need lights, all of this. Lights, camera, action. We got drink, music, everything that you need to ravish your heart. It calls you to do things that you don't want to do. Let's read on.
Verse 6. Thus did this Gannon multiply sin exceedingly.
Thus did he multiply sin exceedingly. He is making sure, these Behemoth and Leviathan, making sure that if you ain't got a body, get you a body. Get you one of them sons of men. Get you one of them. You ain't got to dwell in these beasts or reptiles. Get you one of them, and we're going to have us a good old time. We got music, liquor, drink houses, everything you need. You ain't got one, get you one. And he says, multiply sin exceedingly. Go ahead, read on.
He also acted with pride and taught the children of Cain to commit all manners of the grossest wickedness.
All manners of the grossest wickedness. He said, I don't even want to name what they was doing. But we can already imagine it today. We're looking at today's time, the grossest wickedness. Let's go ahead and read on.
Which they knew not, and put them up to manifold doing which they knew not before. Verse 7. Then Satan, when he saw that they yielded to Gannon and hearkened to him in everything he told them, rejoiced greatly, increased Gannon's understanding, until he took iron and with it made weapons of war.
Right. Now we taking it a step further. It said, then Satan, when he saw that everyone yielded to Gannon, just imagine, that's like, he was like the Tupac of their time. Quincy Jones / Tupac. Everybody listened to him. Whatever he say, they doing it. They with it. All of them looking like him, dressing like him. Everybody want to be like him. He said, I'm seeing, I see you, man. You got it. You got the juice. Oh, you got it. And with you, I'm going to keep on using you. I'm going to keep, you got something? Exactly. And he says, I see you. You got exactly what I need. So we're going to take this a step further now. Now we got them drinking in drink houses. We got them listening to music. And sin is just multiplying. All of them are not doing well anymore. None of them are sacrificing. Sin is multiplying. And we all desiring them. We all desiring to dwell in them. Not these beasts and reptiles. We're going to take everybody over. And he said, and with this, he said he increased Gannon's understanding until he took iron and with it made weapons of war. Now, hey, who need a Glock? Who need an AK? Whatever you need, we got it. Let's read on.
Verse 8. Then when they were drunk, hatred and murder increased among them. One man used violence against another to teach him evil, taking his children and defiling them before him.
All right, so then when they were drunk, that just sounds just like today. With drunk, hatred. Brother get mad, brother be drunk in the club today. Bro, man, bro, I just bought these new Jordans, bro. You just stepped on my Yeah, all right. I'm going to go to the trunk on you, get my weapon of war. It's the same thing that was going on back then. Hatred, murder increased. Let's go ahead and read on.
Verse 9. And when men saw they were overcome and saw others that were not overpowered, those who were beaten came to Cain, took refuge with him, and he made them his confederates.
So look at this. This is just like America today. It says, and when men saw that they were overcome, they like, man, I'm just kind of, I don't got it like that, man. I'm kind of scared. You know, all them other people, man, they gangsters. It's the same thing today. He says, we seen, I ain't messing with them gangsters, man. I don't have it in me to just kill like that. I don't have that anger in me. So let me go to Gideon. The same Gideon that gave everybody the weapons that's making you scared, you're going to him now. Sound very familiar. Sound very familiar. America, let's say we're giving weapons to people. And then when we give weapons to this group of people, I'm not going to say any names. Oh, now come to America, we'll help you. But when you really look at it, America, you the one that gave them weapons. You the one, the reason why we scared, because you gave it to them. It's the same thing that Gideon was doing. And he said, come, yes, come. And matter of fact, when you come, you're going to pay for this protection. I'm going to tax you. As a matter of fact, tax you all year. I'm going to do all of these things. It sounds very familiar. There's no new thing under the sun. The same thing that was going down then, it's going down now. Let's read on.
Verse 10. Then sin increased among them greatly, until a man married his own sister or daughter or mother and others, or the daughters of his father's sister. So there was no more distinction of relationship. And they no longer knew what is iniquity, but did wickedly. And the earth was defiled with sin. And they angered Abba, the judge, who had created them.
Man, you reading out of a newspaper of today? Is this 2021 we reading out of? He said, until a man married his own sister. Just have no distinction of relationship anymore. This is the same thing that is going on now. This is showing you that this is sin that is dwelling in each and every one of them. This is how you come to, you got something?
Now they might marry their sister dog.
Exactly. But it said they have no distinction of relationship. Marrying your sister, your daughter, your mother, it don't matter. It's the same thing going on today. I heard one of the weirdest things I ever heard. So, and this is today's time. A man want to turn himself into a transgender, become a woman, and then and then you got a woman turn herself into a man, and then they link up together. How weird is that? It sounds just like what's going on in these times. Weird stuff. It said no distinction of relationship, and they no longer knew what is iniquity. Iniquity what? It's all about pride, and where with pride? And iniquity what? There's no wrong in this. Ain't no sin in this. We all in the same thing now. If everybody's in the same thing, nobody can, hey, bro, that's off. It's your sister, bro. What you doing? If nobody's doing that, everybody's like, hey, what is iniquity? Let's just do whatever. Let's read on.
Verse 11. But Cain gathered together companies upon companies that played on horns and on all the other instruments we have already mentioned at the foot of the holy mountain. And they did so in order that the children of Seth, who were on the holy mountain, should hear it.
All right, so it says they began to do all of these things that we just aforementioned. It says at the foot of the holy mountain. So now the children of Seth are atop this holy mountain, and it's like cable. You just looking down like, oh, snap, he just punched him in the face. Oh, look, what? Oh, they got the newest, whatever. They all looking, and they like, man, that looks like lifestyle. Man, that look like that's living right there. We just up here doing these oblations and worshiping, serving the Most High. Man, it is kind of boring, man. We should go down. Not even knowing that you're walking away from your glory. Walking away from the covenant of the Most High. Let's read on.
Verse 12. But when the children of Seth heard the noise, they wondered and came by companies and stood on the top of the mountain to look at those below. And they did this a whole year. When, at the end of that year, Gannon saw that they were being won over to him little by little. Satan entered into him and taught him to make dyeing stuff for garments of diverse patterns, and made him understand how to dye crimson and purple and whatnot.
Look at that. Once again, Satan entered into him, came into him again. It's just like a businessman. He just keeps trying to grow his business. He like, man, I got the music, got the corn liquor, got the weapons, we got clubs, everything they need, but man, they ain't coming down yet. It's something else, man. It's something missing. Satan came in. I know what's missing. It's that high fashion that's missing. It's them skinny jeans that's missing. You ain't got it. Now let me show you how to sew this together. Let me give you these leggings for all the women's. That's it. Let me give you all this high fashion that's going on. Let's read on.
Verse 14. And the sons of Cain who wrought all this and shone in beauty and gorgeous appeal gathered together at the foot of the mountain in splendor, with horns and gorgeous dresses and horse races, committing all manners of abominations.
Look at that. Down that mountain, they got everything now. Everything is just looking like, man, they got the shades to do. Man, they down there living. Read on, let's find out what happened.
Verse 15. Meanwhile, the children of Seth, who were on the holy mountain, prayed and praised Abba in the place of the host of angels who had fallen. Wherefore, Abba had called them angels, because he rejoiced over them greatly.
He says, meanwhile, the children of Seth, who were on the holy mountain, prayed and praised the Most High. They were like, man, we're not with that. In the place of the host of angels who had fallen. So those same angels who are now dwelling in the bodies of those men and women, they are looking to pull them down. He said they're in their place, which they once were. They were in that position. No longer. They are now these satans, these sins, these adversaries who are looking to enter into you and take you over. It says the children of Seth prayed on that mountain. And we don't have nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. Let's read on.
Verse 16. But after this, they no longer kept his commandment, nor held by the promise he had made to their fathers, but they relaxed from their fasting and praying and from the counsel of Jared their father.
Look at that. So they were on it for a while. Then it began to become strenuous to them. It began to get strenuous when now you got this other option down this mountain. You looking at all these things going on. You like, man, the high fashion, the drinking, it just looked like it's so much fun. Now is when you begin to get lax on it. Now it's like, man, I just need a vacation. I wish we can just go and get a vacation in. And it says, but they relaxed from their fasting and praying. This is when sin began to come in. Remember what happened with Cain. Cain came to give his offering. He didn't give a proper sacrifice. So the same thing with them. They begin to become relaxed on it. They start missing oblations. They're like, man, you know what? Let's just sleep during the ninth, man. I'm tired, man. I ain't getting nothing. Let's just go ahead and sleep, and let's just get our rest up. Everybody take a break today. And the Most High, remember what he told Cain. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? You were supposed to get up and do well. You were supposed to get up and get in these O's, but you didn't. And because of that, sin desired you, and now it's getting you now. Now it's eating away at your consciousness. Now it's making you feel like, I'm supposed to be down off this mountain. I'm sure this is not my purpose in life. I'm supposed to be down there playing basketball and doing all the things I'm supposed to be doing. It ain't supposed to be this. This ain't my purpose. This ain't my walk. Let's read on.
And they kept on gathering together on the top of the mountain to look upon the children of Cain from morning until evening, and upon what they did, upon their beautiful dresses and ornaments. Then the children of Cain looked up from below and saw the children of Seth standing in troops on the top of the mountain, and they called to them to come down to them. But the children of Seth said to them from above, we don't know the way. Then Gannon, the son of Lamech, heard them say they did not know the way, and he brought himself how he might bring them down. Then Satan appeared to him by night, saying, there is no way for them to come down from the mountain on which they dwell. But when they come tomorrow, say to them, come ye to the western side of the mountain. There you will find the way of a stream of water that comes down to the foot of the mountain. Between two hills, come down that way to us.
Look at that. Satan came in again, came through. He like, you can depend on me. I got everything you need. I got all the drinks, everything. Matter of fact, I'm the map quest too. Matter of fact, just go around this way. I got you. Go on down this way. You make a left at the McDonald's, then you turn right, then go there. Boom. Then you down here with us. You with us. Let's go ahead and read on.
Verse 20. Then when it was day, Gannon blew the horns and beat the drums below the mountain, as he was wont. The children of Seth heard it and came as they used to do. Then Gannon said to them from down below, go to the western side of the mountain. There will you find the way to come down.
Look at that. So Satan couldn't wait. He said, man, matter of fact, make sure we sound the alarm. Wake them up. Make sure they get up. Beat the drums below the mountain. Make sure they get up. Today is the day. Y'all coming down off that mountain. He said, go to the western side of the mountain. There you will find a way to come down to us. Let's read on.
Verse 22. But when the children of Seth heard these words from him, they went back into the cave to Jared to tell him all they had heard. Then when Jared heard it, he was grieved, for he knew that they would transgress his counsel. After this, 100 men of the children of Seth gathered together and said amongst themselves, come, let us go down to the children of Cain and see what they do, and enjoy ourselves with them. But when Jared heard this of the 100 men, his very soul was moved, and his heart was grieved. He then arose with great fervor and stood in the midst of them, and abjured them by the blood of Abel the just. Let not one of you go down from the holy and pure mountain, in which our fathers have ordered us to dwell. But when Jared saw that they did not receive his words, he said unto them, oh, my good and innocent and holy children, know that when once you go down from this holy mountain, Abba will not allow you to return again to it.
So he let them know. If you go down from this mountain, it's anathema maranatha with you. You shall surely not come back up. So I'm telling you now, the Most High had let us dwell in this mountain. You don't even understand that. We're already in the punishment. And you looking to make it worse. The Most High said, if you just do righteousness, you can dwell here on this mountain, and ye shall be like angels. Brothers, do not go down from this mountain. We're already in punishment. Don't make it worse. But he already knew. He said, I already know they're going to transgress. But I got to say it. I got to say it to him. He said, oh, my good and innocent holy children, know ye, once ye go down from this mountain, ye will surely not return. Let's read on.
Verse 27, he again adjured them again, saying, I adjure by the death of our father Adam, and by the blood of Abel, of Seth, of Enos, of Canaan, and of Mahalalel, to hearken to me, and not to go down from this holy mountain. For the moment you leave it, you will be reft of life and of mercy.
All right, so once again, he's reiterating the same point. Once you go down off this mountain, you shall not return. And we already know what they did. They transgressed all his counsel. Let's skip down to 32.
Verse 32. Then Satan made them look most beautiful before the sons of Seth, as he also made the sons of Seth appear of the fairest in the eyes of the daughters of Cain. So the daughters of the Cain lusted after the sons of Seth like ravenous beasts, and the sons of Seth after the daughters of Cain, until they committed abominations with them.
So immediately coming down off that mountain, the daughters of Cain were there waiting for the sons of Seth, looking real good. Remember, they got high fashion, leggings, probably barely anything on, and they looking, yo, they are looking, whoo. Bro, that's me right there. That's me. He's like, nah, bro, that's me. Nah, bro, that's me right there. And they all looking, and he said they were like ravenous beasts. Couldn't control themselves. Probably right there on the spot, getting it in. Like, hey, bro, we don't need no room. We don't need no room. We're going to get right here behind these bushes. Let's keep it PG, though. But as we know, this is exactly what happened. Let's read on.
Verse 33. But after they had thus fallen into this defilement, they returned by the way they had come and tried to ascend the holy mountain. But they could not, because the stones of that holy mountain were of fire flashing before them.
Look at that. He told them. He said, if you go down off this mountain, I'm telling you, brothers, it's anathema maranatha with you. You ain't coming back up. You ain't going to dwell here anymore. Please don't do it. Don't do it. He said, do not intercourse with the children of Cain. Everybody down there is filled with sin, and they're looking to get into you. This is why the Most High told us from the beginning, do not go into that covenant. Don't go in those physical bodies. Surely you're going to die. Surely you're going to be separated from me. Sin shall multiply. and take over everything, over everybody. And we see how sin comes through. It doesn't come through, as I said, with horns, I'm going to kill and murder and all these things. It comes with sweet things. He said, I come with slow jams and music and drink and fashion and all these things. And then I'm going to win you over slowly. And you're going to want to just become a part of this lifestyle. And this is exactly what happened. Let's get that 2 Thessalonians. Yeah, go back to 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 1. If you could hold for me Luke 10:17 and Daniel 9.
Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of Yahushua and by the gathering together unto us.
All right, so we're beginning to close down the class, going back to 2 Thessalonians. And he's saying, I beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahushua Christ, by the gathering together unto him. Read on.
That ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, neither by letter as from us, as the day of Yahushua is at hand.
So at this point, we already know sin is proliferating and multiplying on the high levels. So he's letting them know. Just think about everything that we just went through. We now know that these behemoth and leviathans, these angels who rebelled against the Most High, are now these spirits of sin. And he said, within this curse, it shall be enmity between your seed, Eve, and all of these Satans, all of their seed. And it's going to be a great war. And they're going to war against you all the days of their lives. And then we see how they war. It's not about, let's grab guns and weapons and start shooting at the children of Israel on top of the mountain. He said, nah, let's get music. Let's get slow jams and drink houses and fashion and gambling and all these different things. Let's do it this way. This is that enmity. They looking to get you away from the covenant of the Most High, which the children of Seth did eventually. He said they began to get relaxed, sleeping during the 9th hour, sleeping during a lot of Yakim, the 12th hour. They began to sleep. And because of that, they did not well. We went through that in Genesis 4. He said, if you do not well, sin lieth at your consciousness. And when you do not well, he will desire you, and he shall rule over thee. So he's letting us know now, be not soon shaken in your mind or be troubled. Don't let any of these things come and beguile you out of your covenant. Don't be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter as from us, as the day of Christ is at hand. Let's read on.
Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
So hopefully in this class, sin is now revealed unto you. If you thought sin at the beginning of this class, if you thought sin was the act of doing something wrong, I hope and pray that you can see it. And I hope and pray that you go and reproof this. Don't just believe my word. Go back and reproof it. Go back and study the scriptures. See that this is the behemoth and Leviathan. These are these spirits. It is exactly saying this man of sin. And he's telling us that no man deceive you by any means. For that day of Christ, Messiah returning unto us, shall not come except there come a falling away first. And that man of sin be revealed, the son of destruction, who's looking to destroy everything in his path. But to get the understanding, let's find out what this falling away first is. Give me that Luke 10, verse 17.
And the 70 returned again with joy, saying, Most High, even the devils are subject unto us through thy name. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven.
Look at that. So he says, and the 70 returned again with joy. Why with joy? Saying to the Most High, even these devils, these behemoth and leviathans are subject unto us now through thy name. Because of that covenant that you came and brought, they are now subject unto us. So all of this beguilement and temptation that they were coming with, it is no more. We can now do well in the sight of the Most High. Let's read on. I'll read 18 again.
And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven.
Look at that. This is the falling away that shall happen first. He says, and they said, I now see Satan falling from heaven. Remember, Satan sits in heaven accusing each and every one of us. Every time you do not well, he's accusing you. Sin lieth at your door. When you don't atone, he shall desire you and rule over thee. So he's letting you know when Satan began to lose that power, that is him now falling from heaven. He is now falling from his power. He said the devils are subject unto us because of this. Let's read on.
Verse 19. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemies, and nothing shall be any means hurt you. Notwithstanding in this, rejoice not that the spirits are subject unto you, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven.
Look at that. It's power right there. He said, behold, I have given you power now. It's power in the seventh covenant. It's power in the oblations. No more shall you be tempted to go down off that mountain. Come back up this mountain. He said, now I'm giving you the way to come back up this mountain, you peculiar people. I have chosen you out of darkness to come and worship and serve me. And he says, I'm going to give you power to tread on serpents, scorpions, and all over the power of the enemy. All that temptation that they're putting forth, you're going to be shielded from it as long as you do well. And he says, notwithstanding in this, rejoice not that the spirits are subject unto you, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven. How powerful is that? You now overcoming this temptation, overcoming the wiles of the devil. All the wiles that the angels that sat up top that mountain, the children of Seth, the same temptation that they face, same thing that we're facing. But he said, rejoice. You're a part of that seventh covenant and you're doing what you got to do. You're not being a partaker of that, even though you were pulled from that. He said, rejoice because of this. Now let's get back to 2 Thessalonians. Get up at the fourth verse again.
Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called Abba, or that is worship, so that he, as Abba, sitteth in the temple of Abba, showing himself that he is Abba.
All right, so once again, these are the Satans that shall desire you and rule over thee. And this is the way that they shall rule over thee. He says they oppose and exalt themselves above all that is called Abba, or that is worship, so that he as Abba sitteth in the temple of Abba, showing himself that he is Abba. This is the law of sin. Genesis 4. When you do not well, sin will lie at your door. It says, ye are the temple. So what we went through in 1 Corinthians 3:16, ye are that temple. He is looking to sit in you and just bark out whatever he wants you to do. It ain't just whatever. It's whatever the Most High told you and commanded you to do. He's going to make you do the opposite. He's going to get you into drink houses, ravish your heart with the music, all these different things. Let's read on.
Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things. And now ye know withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work.
So why, once again, it should no longer be a mystery unto you. You should understand and know it is the behemoth and Leviathan. It's not the act of doing something wrong. It began, this genesis of sin began with behemoth and Leviathan rebelling against the Most High. And he said, I remand you to the earth, that you dwell in the bodies, foul beasts and reptiles. And because of this, it was enmity. That enmity was betwixt their seed and Eve's seed, which is all of us. They said, and from that point on, a war was sparked and said, we're going to get them. We're going to get them to come down off of that. The Most High, if you ain't using us, Most High, you ain't using nobody, for sure. We're going to beguile them, do whatever we got to do. But if you're not using us, you ain't using nobody, or so they thought. It says, the mystery of iniquity doth already work. We should now know the mystery of sin. Sin is not the act of doing something wrong. It is you transgressing what the Most High told you, not atoning for it, and then by way of that, sin desire you and then rule over you. This is that mystery that is being revealed to each and every one of us. So take hold of it and understand and know nobody knows this. This information, once everybody understands what it is, this information is invaluable. Men will pay millions, trillions of dollars to have this information, to have the oblations, to know oblations. That's how you do it. That's how your name is written in the book of life. Surely all of this stuff is going to perish. But to me, to have eternal life in heaven, in heavenly mansions, come on, man. I'll pay I'll give everything I got to get a piece of that, just a part of that. Let me just open the door for everybody that's coming through. So that mystery of iniquity that have already worked, but it's not working for those who are under the seventh covenant. Let's read on.
Only he who know letteth will let
Read that
until
again.
he only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way.
All right, so only he who now letteth will let. So it's no longer a mystery anymore. So you should know now. I know exactly what sin is. Sin is a spirit. Sin is not the act of me doing wrong. The act of me doing wrong is a trespass. Let me make sure I atone for my trespasses. Let's go ahead and read on.
And then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Most High shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
All right, it says, and then shall the wicked be revealed. Now we understand the way that they operate. And operating how we thought they was operating. It says, whom the Most High shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. How shall he consume? Let's get that in Daniel 9:27.
He shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, and in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease, and for the overspreading of abominations he shall make it desolate.
All right, he says, and he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, 7,000 years, and in the midst of that, 3,500, he shall cause the sacrifices and oblations to cease. And we already know what this is. It's the temple being destroyed. And for the overspreading of abominations, because there's no more sacrificing, there's no more mitigating your trespasses, sin shall now multiply. As it multiplied with Cain, as it multiplied with Gideon, coming through, giving them all kind of things to keep it multiplying. He said, the overspreading of abominations, he shall make it desolate. Read on.
Even until the consummation.
Look at that. Even until the consummation, which we read in 2 Thessalonians, the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. This is that consummation. Even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate. All right, let's get it back in 2 Thessalonians and finish it up.
Even him who cometh is after the works of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
All right, so even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, all deceivableness. Remember, I told you, it's not coming how we think it's coming. He said, I'm coming with slow jams. I got whatever kind of music you like. Any genre of music you like, I have it. Any kind of liquor you like, I have it. I'm going to get you inebriated, get you out of your normal way of thinking. I'm going to get you in this high fashion, showing off everything. I'm going to get you in this lifestyle with all deceivableness of unrighteousness. It has a unrighteous indignation behind it. There's no good thing behind it. And he says, in them that shall perish because of it, because they receive not the love. They receive not that commandment. Let's go ahead, finish this up.
And for this cause, Abba shall send them strong delusion, that they shall believe a lie.
So the Most High said, for this, because you want to do your own thing, you want to be a part of that, I'm going to send you strong delusion. You shall believe a lie. You shall believe that Jesus is your personal Lord and Savior. And if you sprinkle this holy water, you shall be saved. Surely you shall believe these strong delusions. You shall believe in Allah, whoever it may be. You shall believe in strong delusions. Most High said, that ain't me. Wherein is that me? You shall believe in strong delusions, believe a lie. Well, shall send them strong delusions and believe in a lie. Let's read on verse 12.
That they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness.
So that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, believe not in the seventh covenant. Think about it. The adversary is very deceptive. He'll get you in these different religions. He may not get you with the drink houses and the music and all of these different things. But he said, you know what I'm going to get you with? I'm going to get you with that Baptist church. That's what I'm going to get you with. Yeah, I got something for you. I know, as a matter of fact, we got high fashion over there too. We ain't got everything over there. And I'm going to get you with that too. Whatever your case may be, I'm going to get you with it. But all deceivableness. He said that they might be damned who believe not the truth. And believing not that truth is sacrifice is done away with. Law is done away with. Surely ain't that. Everybody has salvation. Everybody, it's all love. You can be homosexual. And still the Most High loves you. If you was born a man and you want to be woman, that's your prerogative. That's your thing. Do your thing. Wear it with pride. He said that you believe not the truth. You ain't believe in these sacrifices. You didn't believe that these that sin were these spirits. You didn't believe it. And because of that, you like, ain't no sacrificing. We don't got to do that. We're not at stake. Nothing is at stake. Nothing is looking to rule over me. So you know what? I'm not believing in it. And what else?
But we are bound to give thanks always to Abba for you,
Read 12 again.
that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness.
All right, so begin to end it with this. He says, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. This is when you are completely given over to the Satan. Now, as I mentioned, this is the genesis of sin. This is how it all began. Going back to that 5th day of creation, when they were given dominion, and then when that dominion was shifted and given over to Adam, they rebelled against the Most High. Said, Most High, surely, this is a prank. We're not taking a back seat to Adam. It's my little brother. Because of that, he remanded them to the earth, dwell in them bodies. And they said, you know what? Well, this ain't living. We're going to dwell in the bodies of them. We're going to get them out of that garden. Because of that, when they rule over you, you shall now be partakers in the pleasure of unrighteousness. But let us be partakers in righteousness, in the 7th covenant. Let us now understand and know. He said, only now he who led it will let. So if you now know that sin, iniquity is no mystery to me anymore, I know exactly what iniquity is. Iniquity is sin, and it come by way of me transgressing the Most High's laws. And I know the laws now are spiritual, and I shall give up spiritual sacrifices every single day. So I know what to do now. It's no mystery to me anymore, so I'm not letting anymore. I'm now doing what I got to do. I'm doing the right thing, living in righteousness. So I hope everyone gleans some knowledge and gains some knowledge off of this. And you that are scattered abroad, go back and reproof it. Don't just take my word for it. Don't just take the other priest's word for it. Go back and reproof it. I know they told you 1,000,000 times, sin is the act of doing something wrong, but we now have brought out the genesis of it and exactly where it came from and exactly what it is. So with this, we'll go ahead and close the intro class down. Once again, I'll say peace, blessings, shalom to all.
He who hath ears to hear, listen carefully as we speak virtue, reaching the world through the efforts of the priests, repairers of the breach, restorers of the paths, rebuilding the tents of David. Our home is found at last at the tabernacle of congregation, where we baptize and anoint our nation, performing oblations upon the brazen altar, walking in the ways of the appointed Savior with poise, escaping the noise from Satan and his poisonous nature. Without fail he accuses the brethren, using his weapons of collusion, and then sin comes upon us. And we deserve it, to be honest. We were cursed, cause we honored and were worshipping the gods of this world and was living lawless. At first to the written law, without purpose and little knowledge, serving our wicked conscience. Thus, righteous judgment was handed down from the courts of the Most High. A sobering moment, but let's be holy and pure while we endure and ensure life comes forth. Let us hold tight, secure in our roles as we strive, adorned with our robes white and clean. It might seem like the loneliest road, but we stride in hope as the Most High reveals his ideals. And so we exercise patience as well as love, dwelling safe in the 7th covenant, graciously set the sustenance. Let us exemplify faith through hell and suffering, praying to quell the punishment, waiting on heaven's government to be established, as it was in the Garden of Eden, when Abba had breathed life into creation, and our forefather received the living word. No more are we called prisoners, we live and learn, and study to be approved as the sons of Yahweh, who were lovingly given rules to better build and preserve truth. The brick surrounding the kingdom are the 7 pillars of virtue. This is a house of wisdom. Shalom.